Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns. Sure, I'm glad you're here. It's Thanksgiving week, and I hope that you all are enjoying your Thanksgiving week, and I hope that you have very many great blessings and a great family time with your family this week. But we're ready to start showing off a few items. First off, I do have a few items that I've finished, and one of those being that shawl that I was making with all my leftover Simply Soft Karen, and this is it. Now I will tell you, this is the Grandma's Easy Comfort Shawl. I'll put the link down below. By Glenda of Creative Grandma. Now, I changed the border. I just did a double crochet border around. And, yeah, I really like the way that it came out. And that is ready to go off to someone with the Prayer Shawl Ministry. Now, the teen girls that we were making the blankets for, this is the blanket that I got finished for that. And I just used a couple of skeins until it measured the measurement, which is about 40 by 45. And it does measure that. And that is ready to go. Now, I've told you in the past that with the UPMC and the nursery, in the past we have always done the Christmas hats and the different monthly themes, and then of course we do the Little League ones. Well, this year they chose a different Christmas hat, and I'm going to show you this. And there is the hat right there. This is a pattern by someone who works at UPMC in Pittsburgh. There are a couple of issues with the hat. Number one, it's awful heavy for a baby. And there were some issues with the pattern, but that's okay. And then I made a second one. I still have to decorate it and get the stars on it. But they're not going to be getting 250 of these like they wanted. They're going to be lucky if they get 5 or 10. I decided to sit down and document how much time it takes to make each hat, put all the decorations on, sew everything, all that kind of stuff. And that wound up being 2.5 hours for one hat. I don't have enough time to be making that many hats, so they're just going to have to deal with what they get. That's how that's going to be this time. I hate to do that, but I'm the only one that's making hats. The rest of the group, they want nothing to do with making that hat because it is so complicated. It's adorable. And they give us less than a month to get them made. So, I have sent email to them in Pittsburgh that they need to consider going with just a basic hat pattern that you can decorate up, with appliques, whatever, not to go in for all these cutesy, artsy, fartsy hats, just because there are a lot of people that aren't willing to make and take the time to make those kind of hats. So, that's kind of where we're at there. Okay, now, we're going to do a little wad in tarnation. And after the wad in tarnation, I do have a giveaway. You might want to stick around for the giveaway. You may not. I don't know. I'd appreciate it if you did. But here we go. Texas woman pleads guilty to smuggling spider monkey in beer box. A Texas woman has pleaded guilty to smuggling a spider monkey in a box she alleged was carrying beer. Immigration and Customs Enforcement said Sunday. Savannah Nicole Valdez, 20, was arrested on March the 20th when she tried to enter the U.S. through the Gateway International Bridge in Brownsville, Texas with the primate. Eagle-eyed officers at the border spotted a wooden box with holes inside her car, which she said contained beer she had bought in Mexico. Officers opened the box and discovered the live spider monkey inside and directed her to pull over for a secondary inspection. Valdez refused and sped off, running a traffic light and nearly colliding with officers and other vehicles. Investigators later found online ads for the sale of a spider monkey with her phone number listed. Valdez turned herself into law enforcement on March 28th and pleaded guilty to smuggling wildlife into the U.S. without first declaring, invoicing it, and fleeing an immigration checkpoint on November the 2nd. The monkey was taken to an animal shelter in Florida where it is safely living, according to the officials. Valdez is scheduled to be sentenced in January 2023, faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine if convicted. Smuggling an endangered species for commercial gain is a tragic crime against nature's precious resources. For Homeland Security investigations in San Antonio. So, don't do it, folks. It's not worth it. World's largest published book unveiled in Texas. This book warms my heart simply because of what they do behind the book. A Texas nonprofit and museum teamed up to break the Guinness World Record for the largest published book with a tome measuring 7 feet tall and 11 feet wide. Literacy nonprofit I Write and the Bryan Museum in Galveston teamed up to create a massive version of the book I Am Texas, which contains writing and artwork from 1,000 Texas students from the 3rd to 12th grades. The book, which has smaller versions available for purchase, of course, measures 7 feet tall, 11 feet wide, and weighs in at 496 pounds. The giant book, which has been certified as the world's largest by Guinness World Records, is now embarking on a tour of Texas and will be featured in the November 24th HEB Thanksgiving Day Parade in Houston. I Write does a lot of things publishing students throughout the years, every year. It's a great organization, so go watch the video. It's just heartwarming. Slackliner crosses between 2 hot air balloons in Brazil. An accomplished slackliner showed off his balance skills by taking a walk on a line suspended between 2 hot air balloons over his Brazilian hometown. Rafael Brady, who previously earned the Guinness World Record for highest slackline walk when he crossed between 2 balloons 6,236 feet over Praia Grande in Santa Catarina, Brazil, replicated his stunt over the city of Florianopolis to honor his hometown. The stunt was sponsored by a camera company, Insta360, which posted video of the slackline walk to YouTube. Brady said the sky over Florianopolis, it's a hard word to say, provided optimal conditions for the dizzying feat. The location we chose provides very good conditions for flying balloons. We have all these pilots here doing unique flights, going over canyons above the clouds. Together with this production team, they think they created a dream team. And it's amazing to watch. And you know there's video. Deer crashes through a New York nursing home. It's kind of a scary video to watch because he's in the physical therapy room. A deer broke into a New York nursing home and was caught on camera making its way through a physical therapy room. Bill Betts, an employee at Wells Nursing Home in Johnstown, captured video Monday as it made its way to the physical therapy room and explored before crashing out of the building through a window. Administrator Neil Van Slyke said the deer had entered through another building and was inside for about 10 minutes. Van Slyke said the deer did not appear to have any serious injuries and fled into the woods. He said there was very little damage to the building aside from the 2 broken windows. Whew. And then here's another story. A Wisconsin couple found they weren't quite as lucky when a deer crashed into their West Dallas home through a glass door. Sue and Richard Sujecki said the deer was trapped inside the house for about 3 hours before being escorted out by state wardens. The Sujeckis said the deer caused extensive damage to their home while searching for an exit. World's largest coloring book. Unveiled at a Texas dog walking event. An annual dog walking event in Texas broke a Guinness World Record when organizers unveiled the world's largest coloring book. The 22nd annual Mighty Texas Dog Walk, an annual fundraiser for Service Dogs, Inc., took place at Camp Mabry Parade Grounds in Austin. The event featured a release of Becoming Caxon, a new children's book based on the life of Caxon, the official spokes dog of KXAN TV, one of the event's sponsors. Organizers unveiled a giant coloring book version of Becoming Caxon, which measures 190 square feet. Attendees used over 500 markers to color in the book. That had to have been fun. The current Guinness World Record for the largest coloring book was set in May 2021 in China, with a coloring book measuring 187 square feet and 53 square inches. Guinness World Record attempts have become a tradition for the Mighty Texas Dog Walk, with previous titles earned including Most Dogs Walked, Biggest Cake for Dogs, and the Biggest Fur Ball. That's rather amazing, you know? All right, the giveaway. The giveaway is going to start today. It will run through next Tuesday, November the... what is that? Let me look at my calendar. Through November the 29th. And at that time, about noonish, I will draw a winner from those of you that have left a comment down below. And you don't have to be a subscriber to be entered, but you will be responsible for any duties, taxes, fees that are incurred. It is open worldwide. It's not sponsored by anyone but myself. And yeah, I'll give you the question you have to answer in the comments down below on this video. You are going to get 2 of these cakes. This is Bernat Blanket in Stripes in the color of Little Lilacs. You will get 2 of these. You will also get 2 of the Bernat Stripes in the colorway Making Waves. And there are 2 skeins, 2 cakes of these. So that is what is in the prize to be given out. It is a number 6 super bulky. You know, I use an M or an N, sometimes an L, crocheting with these. They're very soft. They make great blankets, so. But you'll also be receiving this bag from Whisk. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not. But I'm going to throw in this bag as well for the giveaway. It's a cute kitty. Sitting on a garden path under the moonlight. It looks like a little rainbow in the background. So, you will be getting that. What do you have to do? You have to answer this question. What is your favorite story from today's What in Tarnation? That's all you have to do. Just answer. All right. And like I said, the winner will have, I'm going to give you 3 days afterwards to claim your prize, or I will draw another winner at that time if you haven't claimed that prize. All right, are you ready for devotion? I know I am. I could use it today. And the devotion comes out of this book. I got it at Ollie's. I don't know if you can get it anywhere still today. It's a great book. Here we go. Seek His face. Seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His face continually. Psalm 105, verse 4 in the NASB version. Meeting someone in a crowd, we scan each face in search of their familiar features. Once we've found them, we feel relief, happiness, and a sense of home. This is the way our Lord wants to be sought. He desires not just presence or conversation with us, but intimacy. Seek my face, He says. Not just forgiveness, not just answered prayer, but real face-to-face connection. How can you shift your focus from looking for things to looking for God? I had recently posted a story about a fellow that was on his deathbed, and a preacher had gone to visit this fellow, and the fellow didn't know who he was, asked who he was. He said, well, I'm the new preacher of your church. And he said, do you mind if I sit with you? You have an empty chair there. And the fellow proceeded basically to tell him, no, I don't want you to pray for me, but I want you to pray for my family. He said, for the longest time, I didn't know how to pray to God. I didn't understand it. And then someone told me, pull up an empty chair and imagine that Jesus, God, sitting there in the chair with you, and just talk to Him, have a conversation. So, basically, the gist of that story is to sit down and have that conversation. That's what this verse is about. Now, this story goes on to the priest talking with the daughter who had left the man. She'd gone off to go do something. She'd come in to visit, and the preacher was leaving. A few days later, the preacher called to ask how he was doing. She said, well, I'd gone off to do something. When I came home, he was dead. And the preacher asked, well, how did you find him? She said, he had his head in the empty chair next to him. And the preacher stated, if only we could all go out that way. I think you could see how much this story touched me. Some of the hardest things to get across to non-believers is how to pray. I have a gentleman that has been seeking God for many years. But but he is so afraid to just open up and to pray to God, just to have a conversation with God. So to this day, he still does not know God, but he wants to know God. So the easiest thing that you can do is open up your heart and have a heart-to-heart conversation. Don't be afraid. It's easy. And I know many of you do not follow a Christian path, and that's fine. I wish you well. Alright guys, that's it for today. Remember to be kind to one another, love yourself. Be kind to yourself, and get out there and see this big, beautiful world we live in. Because man, it can be one amazing ride. See you guys soon. Bye.